Welcome back to Film Recall. Velvet Buzzsaw. Don't look up what that title means. Velvet Buzzsaw is centered around an art gallery where rich elites love to buy and sell art, but they don't appreciate, like, or even care about the art other than what it's worth in money. Now they'll literally have to pay for the art with their lives because these paintings are coming to life and killing the elites one by one. It's completely over the top and ridiculous and weird and crazy and a lot of fun. But if you're going into this thinking it's gonna be a scary movie, you're probably gonna be disappointed because it's really over the top, it's really ridiculous, but it is a lot of fun. And that's because this movie, more than anything, is a satire. The actors are playing it straight, they're playing it serious, but it's supposed to be darkly funny. Parts of it even gave me Scooby-Doo vibes. Like if the movie was called Scooby-Doo and the Mystery of the Art Gallery, it could work. Dan Gilroy directed Nightcrawler, one of my favorite movies of 2014, and it's a similar satire to what he did with Nightcrawler, only now it's with the art industry. Part of the story deals with the organization side of selling paintings, and the other half has these people who don't appreciate what they're buying and selling getting killed off by the paintings who are seeking revenge. He takes a campy horror movie and shoves it inside of an art film, and I thought that was an interesting concept. Now the story takes a little bit of time to set up. The first half or third of the movie is dealing with setting up the characters. The characters, like in Nightcrawler, are cynical. There's not a hero or anyone to root for. There's not really anybody likable in this, but the acting is outstanding. Jake Gyllenhaal really puts himself out there and creates a strange performance that I loved. I'm really liking how lately he's been picking these strange out-of-the-box roles that just lets him let loose, Nicolas Cage style. He's not afraid to get a little crazy. Rene Russo is the art gallery owner and she's equally good. They were the two standouts in the cast, but for a title like this movie has some big faces. John Malkovich and Toni Collette, people who are usually not in horror movies, except for Toni Collette. She was just in Hereditary last year, but other than that, Jake Gyllenhaal, John Malkovich, Rene Russo, they usually aren't in horror movies, so you can see that there's something to the script that made them want to jump on board. Now when the paintings come to life, it's like a twisted version of Night at the Museum, and it does not disappoint. The paintings are memorable and creepy to look at, and the way they come to life is really well done. It's been a while since we've had an original killer, something like Oculus, where it's not just a masked killer. And the effects on these paintings are so cool looking. They feel very alive, but also have that painting quality to them still. The death scenes also don't disappoint. It's over the top, it's gory, it's gross, but I don't want to make it sound like a non-stop thrill ride. It's more like an extended episode of Black Mirror. There's not a whole lot of crazy moments, and if you watch the trailer, you've seen a lot of them already. They're extended in the movie, but you've gotten a glimpse at most of the scenes. There definitely are those horror elements, but more than a horror movie, it's a satire of the art world. And being a satire, there's a heavy message about greed in the art industry, but making it a genre film keeps the message from ever feeling too heavy-handed. The second half is where it really starts to lean into the horror genre in good and bad ways. Dan Gilroy expertly builds tension, and the death scenes are so over the top and definitely deliver, but it starts to lean a little too much into the horror when it starts to follow every cliche in the book. There's definitely going to be some moments where you're like, why is this character doing this? Don't do that. And maybe that's part of the fun, but I wanted the characters to subvert some of those tropes. Also, the satire didn't go as deep as it did in Nightcrawler, where I really felt like I was getting caught up in the seedy underworld of news journalism, and it was critiquing it by embracing it. Here, the satire was more surface level, and the story has a hard time juggling the comedy, the horror, the mystery, and the satire. And it all builds up to an ending that was pretty disappointing and made me want more. When the movie goes completely off the rails, that's when it's the most fun, and I wish it did more of that. I'm excited to see studios taking risks like this. Even if it doesn't all pay off, it's exciting to see. It's an original take on supernatural horror, and no doubt this is going to be a divisive movie. I liked Velvet Buzzsaw. I wish I loved it, but I liked it, and I want to see it again. I'm going to give Velvet Buzzsaw a strong 6.5 out of 10. If you have Netflix, I definitely recommend checking it out. Makes for a fun Friday night. Thanks for watching, and if you're new to the channel, you can subscribe for more movie reviews every week.